Good morning. It's Erin Birch, founder of the Birch Method, and I'm excited today to tell you a story. The story is called Danny and the Dish Towel. Now, Danny, once upon a time, there was a little boy named Danny, and Danny was young and he was running around kind of crazy. And the thing about Danny, if we peel back a couple of layers and we look inside Danny's body, we see that the fabric or the tissue of his body is free. And here's the dish towel to demonstrate that. So if you think about this, there's all kinds of three-dimensional movement in space, and he can run and he can jump and he can play, and Danny feels free in his body. In fact, he feels so free that he doesn't even feel like he has a body. It's so light and fluffy and springy and yummy. And then Danny, as a little adventurous boy, he runs into some trouble. He runs into some emotional trouble where teachers tell him, Danny, sit down. Danny, you're not very good at math. Hey, Danny, this is going on. And Danny starts to shrink a little bit in his tissue. His posture starts to take on those messages. And the dish towel now isn't as free. It's still pretty free, but not as much. And then Danny has a fall on the playground and he hurts his neck. And that sort of registers in this fabric, this dish towel. And then as Danny plays sports, he gets into all kinds of, he falls and he hits and when he jumps, he sprains his ankle. And slowly that fabric inside that was so free and springy and yummy starts to be compromised. Now, there's still a lot of movement here. Danny's like, 12 or 13 by this time. And the dish towel fabric in his body, still pretty good. He can still do a lot. As Danny moves into his 20s and 30s, still pretty good. 40s, 50s. Now the dish towel, that's stiffness in the morning. That's, I can't quite do what I wanted, what I used to be able to do. I remember as a kid, I was pretty free, and then I've seen Danny as an old man, and he has pain now because this just doesn't have the grace or the mobility that it used to. And slowly over time, this fabric of Danny's, which was once really loose and free and open and just delicious, has become compromised by the compensation of the injuries. If you think about it, compensation is really an interesting concept. Our body doesn't actually go back to where it was, usually. It's my experience anyway. And so the body creates these kind of detours. And these detours then become our adaptive normal. They become the normal. And what happens is, because function is king in the body, right? Your body doesn't really super care whether you're crawling across the floor or in a wheelchair across the floor or walking across the floor. It's got to get there to the food or the whatever. So our bodies prioritize function above everything else. And then, so compensation is interesting because it doesn't take a big, glob of mobility out of one place. What it does is it pinches a little bit off here and a little bit off here and a little bit off here in that spiral sort of situation, like the dish towel. And it is amazing. It's like robbing Peter to pay Paul. And you just keep pilfering off these little chunks of mobility through our body in a way that we can still function. And like robbing Peter to pay Paul, when Peter runs out of money, everybody's sort of out of luck. And that's basically what happens. But here's the thing. It happens so slowly that we don't even realize it's happening. It's like the walls are closing in, but we're so amazingly adaptive. We are so brilliant at that. That's our gift, but it's also a downside. Now, why do I tell you all this? I tell you all this because awareness of what's happening in your body is absolutely critical to begin to, the more you know about what's happening in your body, the more you can start to interact with it. Awareness is always the first step. So that's what I have for you today, the story of Danny and the dish towel. And thanks for joining me this morning. I know it's early, and yeah, hi ho, have a great day.